Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. Progress, not perfection. Isn't that our motto? Aren't those the words that Bill wrote so succinctly and intentionally in chapter 5? Aren't those the words that we should apply to our own lives? The problem with that is sometimes we switch those words around, and we put an expectation of perfection while we say progress, not perfection. It's kind of contrary, right? Great example. For me last year, if you think back October, November last year, I think I did like maybe four of these morning monologues. And I remember coming on here and saying, look, I'm going to try to do better. And I remember December 10th of last year, I did a morning monologue, and I've done one, and I looked yesterday, I've done one for 30 consecutive days. Does that mean I'm going to be able to do a monologue each day for the rest of my life? I doubt it. Matter of fact, I'm sure at some point in time I'm not going to be able to do a monologue. I've been great. I've been able to do monologues every day for the last 30 days, and that's awesome. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to do one every single day. God forbid, something might happen, and I may not be able to do one tomorrow. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Again, we want to look at our progress, and I went from doing 4 in a time period to doing 30 in a row, and I'm proud of that because, again, that shows progress. But I know that we tend to change those words around and place that expectation of perfection on ourselves. Like, God forbid, again, say I don't do one tomorrow, and then I get pissed off or I get upset. We have the subconscious ability to place this expectation of perfection on our own selves, and sometimes that starts carrying over to other people. And I was thinking this morning about a guy that I knew in the rooms early on, and we had a lot in common. We talked a lot. He loved dogs. I love dogs. He loves to run. I love to run. He was a fascinating guy, but he disappeared from these rooms, from the meetings after about a year or so. And I'd always wondered what had happened to him. And then I lo and behold, ran into him at the grocery store. It was a couple months ago. It's been a while. And I said, "Hey, how things going? How you been doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good." I said, "That's awesome, man." And he goes, "Well," he said, I'm not doing good by your definition of good." My definition of good? First and foremost, what does my definition of good have anything to do with you? I asked him, I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm not sure I follow." He said, "Well, I'm drinking again." He said, "But, my life is manageable." And he said, "I'm able, I'm functioning and things like that." And I said, "Okay." So, let me reassure you. It ain't none of my business what you're doing or how you're achieving your desired results in life. My definition and my standard of good is for me only, not you. I said, "I just want to make sure you're doing okay. I want to make sure that you're able to live the life you wanted to live. That's all I'm interested in. How you live that life, it's none of my business. As long as you're living the life you want to live." And he said, "Well, no." He said, I'm okay. And I was thinking on into that this morning, how it's so easy for us to place that level of expectation on ourselves, but then also subconsciously, inadvertently, start placing that level of expectation on other people. Imagine, somebody you've known in the rooms for a while, and you're standing in line at the gas station, and they're at the front of the line buying a 12-pack of beer. Think about how you would feel. Would you put that level of expectation? Would you look at them and be like, "Oh, they're relapsed. They've relapsed. They've fallen off," et cetera, et cetera. Let me ask you this. How would you feel if you were the one in that position? If you were the one that relapsed and coming back into the rooms? You relapsed and you saw somebody in the grocery store and they ask you that. And people are not interested in our opinions. What they're interested in and what they need is our compassion. And I think that's critically important, especially whenever folks have relapse, whenever they have, that they have that feeling of shame, guilt, and remorse that may keep them from coming back into the rooms. I know a guy right now, and he specifically told me he doesn't want to come back into the rooms because he doesn't want to have to pick up a chip. Like, what are you talking about? He doesn't want to have to pick up a start over chip, 24-hour chip. I'm like, you're letting a piece of plastic keep you from getting the help you need? That the help that you've proven before that has worked? You're letting a piece of plastic? It's so easy for us to judge. And I want to reiterate this. We need to, if we're going to apply any expectations, which we shouldn't be doing, but if we're going to, we need to direct it to ourselves. See, my standard of doing good is for me only, not for anybody else. It's not for you. If you're able to live your life and fulfill the things in life that you want to fulfill and achieve, that's all I give a shit about. How you get there, none of my business. It's none of my business. But that's the key too. That's another thing I've noticed. It's none of my business until somebody starts making it my business, until somebody starts to want to tell me what happened, what's going on, what led to the relapse. But they'll never tell me, they'll never share, they'll never open up if I'm too busy giving them a lecture, sharing my opinion with them. We have to be very careful. When someone relapses, what they need to see is your arms open wide saying, hey, anything I can do to help, let me know, man. I'm still here for you. I'm still available to talk if you just want to sit and bullshit. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a lot more beneficial results, effective results, by just showing a little bit of compassion rather than always wanting to share your opinion with them. That's the last thing that folks want to hear, especially whenever they relapse. Think again. I put yourself in their shoes. What happens? Think about a time. Maybe you did relapse. Maybe you did, have a slip, and think about all that guilt, shame, and remorse. I remember I was doing really well at one point. I was, again, dry drunk, but I was doing really well at one point, and I remember thinking, I need to go to sleep. I need to get in bed early, so I'm going to take a drink just to not go ahead and knock me out. I remember thinking, now again, that's my addiction. But I remember thinking, and of course I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, racing heart rate, pounding headache. My body was trying to fight off all the poison I'd poured in it. And then I felt horrible because I felt like I had fallen off the wagon. People were going to judge me. I'm not in the judging business. If I'm going to judge anybody, it's this guy. And really, there's a higher power that's going to judge me, I assure you. But I am in the compassion business. I am in the business of just sitting and listening to people when and if they want to talk, and making people feel comfortable enough to talk and open up. Because by them opening up, by them sharing their experiences with me, that's what gives me a little bit of hope to make it to the end of my day. At the end of the day, I want to reiterate this: we're not in a competition. This isn't okay, well, you got this many days of sobriety and you've got this many days of sobriety. People are going to slip up. You may slip up. What you want to make sure you're doing is, if you do slip up, you pick yourself back up, you get back on the straight and narrow, and you keep moving forward. Again, it's progress, not perfection. With that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to have discussed, feel free to email it directly to me, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it and see what we can do. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.